Well, this is sort of good news. This is written by David Mastio, M-A-S-T-I-O, and he's with USA Today, and this was written on July the 30th. Column: Election 2016 is over, and Trump has won. With no standards and no principles, Clinton and her allies are now just a punchline. With the possible exception of Jefferson Davis, Donald Trump will be the worst president in American history. I know that sounds extreme. No, not the Jefferson Davis part. Everyone agrees about that. But with the Democratic National Convention barely over and the sound of Hillary Clinton's voice still grating in the ears of Bernie's bros across the land, I understand how it could seem a little early to write off candidate Clinton. The election is still 102 days away. Clinton's historic candidacy has a special appeal to the smarter half of the American electorate. But it is backed by both of America's first black presidents. The Clinton machine features such finely tuned fundraising machinery that Tulsa engineers turn greener at the very sight. Its battle-hardened communications apparatus has already set records in selling high-efficiency American-fueled natural gas furnaces to Saudi royalty. Despite polls showing the deeply unpopular Clinton behind the race against reality TV Donald Trump, only a fool would bet against her. And yet, every time a Clintonite attacks Trump, it is getting harder not to giggle, or at least tilt her, depending on your jocular orientation. When Trump launches into a spittle-freckled tirade against Black Lives Matter radicals who think police should shoot fewer unarmed black men, the racism is so obvious it might as well have been written in the sky by the Blue Angels. But no one is listening anymore when mild-mannered technocrat Mitt Romney was running for president. Clinton's obscure Obama administration colleague Joe Biden told a black audience that Republicans, quote, are going to put y'all back in chains, end of quote. If you listen to Democrats, every Republican who has run for anything in their lifetime has Klan robes in their closet and secret Confederate memorabilia collection. Well, the thing is, it's the Democrats that put blacks in chains. It's the Democrats that organized the KKK, which hung blacks from trees. It's the Democrats that implemented the Jim Crow laws. It has nothing to do with the Republicans. If it wasn't Republicans, blacks would still be in chains today. When Trump joked that maybe Russian President Vladimir Putin could find Clinton's missing emails, the Hillary-friendly presidents at Twitter erupted with accusations of #Trump treason. In a nationally televised speech, Clinton's obscure Obama administration colleague Leon Panetta tutted at an irresponsible Trump asking one of our adversaries to engage in hacking against the United States of America. Of course, foreign data theft is nothing to laugh at, but the pilferage of old yoga schedules and plans for a wedding long consummated hardly seem the kind of thing to require the involvement of an old CIA director long retired. And, well, calling Russia an adversary seems unnecessarily dramatic. It was long ago that Clinton's obscure Obama administration colleague Barack Obama was laughing at the previous wide-eyed lunatic nominated by Republicans as their presidential candidate. Mitt Romney had called Russia a foe. In 1980, the 1980s are now calling to ask for their foreign policy back because the Cold War has been over 20 years. Obama smirked. Perhaps it was funny because Romney used a one-syllable word when any worthy Oval Office aspirant would use at least 3 or preferably 7. Before the convention, Hillary Clinton herself launched an attack on Trump that blew past titters and gigglers and straight into the Gaflaw territory. Trump is terrifying enough with the power of social media, she intoned. But imagine if he had just Twitter and cable news to go after his critics and opponents, but also the IRS. Yes, imagine a president who would abuse the powers of the IRS. Not to paint Clinton with an unfair, overbroad brush of guilt by association, but the administration in which she served as Secretary of State twice accidentally released the private taxpayer information of its political opponents at moments that perhaps inadvertently were politically damaging. And then there was the targeting of the administration's Tea Party opponents by the Obama administration IRS, while Clinton was coincidentally serving as Secretary of State. For non-political reasons, no doubt, the Obama administration is still fighting in court to keep the full details of those events from public eye. Then on Thursday night, right in her big speech, Clinton attacked him again. She rightly pointed out that all foreign leader has to do is get a rise out of Trump, is launch a malicious tweet. God save us when Trump can respond to digital provocations by replying with megatrons instead of megabytes. No tweet would ever get a response from Clinton. She doesn't respond unless she gets served with a subpoena engraved in stone in triplicate. You want to keep reading the article. There's more, and you'll see a 1975 photo of Hillary Clinton. I don't think she has blonde hair, which is what I think Billy Bob said, but that's neither here nor there. The article's interesting, and I'm sort of inclined to agree that the race for the president of 2016 is over. Hillary has less than 0 chance. Why? Well, there's a whole lot of reasons why, but turning off millions of Democrats, I don't think helped a whole lot. I also heard that the Democrats that donated to Bernie are suing the DNC because the money they gave was wasted since it was an inside job, like 9/11. You sort of get what I mean? Read the article, watch the video. Let me know what you think. You know what I think. You know what USA Today thinks, don't you?